There's nothing that people love more in Magic than tricks with borrowed decks. Borrowed decks. You could do this trick anytime, anywhere. Somebody hands you a deck, and you're ready. You're ready to blow their mind with some legitimately crazy magic. Borrowed deck prediction magic. So we're gonna use this. Oh, oh no, no. So the whole borrowed deck spiel from the beginning here. So I'm gonna be using this this deck. It would have been good if I took out headphones from the deck, but you can have this deck legitimately mixed and shuffled by a participant as much as they want. But ultimately, you're gonna tell them that you're gonna make a little bit of a prediction here for yourself. You're gonna hopefully try to capture their actions here. You take a card, put it in your pocket, and then you hand them the deck and tell them to deal the cards one at a time to your hand here, and they do that, and then you tell them, oh, you could stop whenever it is that you want dealing. So the spectator could deal some more cards. They could stop right there. They could keep going because, of course, they're not going to be satisfied with just dealing a couple cards to the forced position. But you have them deal, and they generally stop whenever they want, and then you ask them if they want to keep going, if they want this card, or if they want this card. So let's say they go for this card right here. You could have really taken any one of these cards here whatsoever, but you chose that one right here. Had you picked this one, it would have been the 8 of spades. As a matter of fact, it could have been any one of these cards right here, because you shuffled the deck. Remember, I just took out a prediction here, but this card happens to be the 10 of spades, which is fantastic because the card that I happen to have put in my pocket is the mate, thus showing that I've successfully predicted your actions. I predicted your actions right there. You think you have free will? Do you really? Because this proves you don't have free will. You don't have free will. You don't have free will. You don't. You don't. You don't have free will. You don't have free will. You don't have free. So for this trick, the setup is none. You don't need a setup here. This is generally a borrowed, shuffled a trick here. You could do anytime, anywhere, but no setup. This is based on a David Forrest idea I saw from a video years and years ago. So this is there you go. So what you do for here is once you get the deck back, you're gonna spread them to yourself here, and usually the forced positions here are missionary, doggy style, the 7th position, and the 17th position in the deck. For some reason, those 4 happen to be the most picked choices for tricks. So what I mean by the 7th position here is that usually the 7th position is the forced position. So if you have the spectators deal the cards, they'll stop at the 7th typically if you handle it right. Or the 17th position in my experience here. I don't know why that position is also one that is coveted by the adult industry, but it's definitely one that you should know. But I typically go here, so I'll go through the deck. I'll go to the top, the 7th card here. So in this case, that's the 1st card, 2nd card, 3rd card, 4th card, 5th card, 7th card. You guys are so smart. So I look at the 7th card, and then I'll grab the mate or whatever that card is, and that's the one that goes in my pocket. So in this case, it's going to be the 8 of hearts that's going to go in my pocket because of the mate. So this is a very unique situation here because if you've noticed, the 8 is right there. So I'll just take that card out, put it in my pocket, maybe add a card to the top, but that rarely happens. But in that case, then you're going to have to do the force for 1 less for that card. So you tell the spectators you hand a deck, and it really doesn't matter. You're just trying to hit that card if you want a cleaner ending, but regardless, you're going to be copying a card to the pocket, so it doesn't matter. But it's good that this situation happened because then you see what you do. So either you add a card here to make that card the 7th card to the top, or you could leave it and just force the 6th card. So you have the spectators deal cards in your hand, and at this point, I'd say, and you could stop whenever you could stop anytime you want. So they deal cards, hoping that they'll stop at that force card. But if they don't, it's fine. You're still prepared here. So they stop dealing whenever they want. You give them the option, either this card or this card. If they stop dealing at the force card, it goes without saying that you go, okay, perfect. We'll just leave that card aside, and it's the same exact thing. You go, oh, hey, look, you could have stopped in any card. You stopped in the 8, and it just so happens in my pocket. And this time you're very clean. You could show your hands not to have blood on them. Maskell. You could show that very cleanly. But if not, this card's in your pocket. They're still dealing cards. The usual scenario here is that they stop dealing whenever it is they want. What you're going to do is you ask them either this card or this card. It doesn't really matter which one they say. You're going to lift, let's say they go for this one. You're going to lift it up. You're going to peek at it. Now, this is not a hidden peek. This is it's not necessarily something you're hiding from them. But what you do here is that you tilt this card up. You peek at it. In this case, is the 2 of hearts at the same time that I spread these cards. So what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be looking for the mate of this card under the context of showing that they could have really picked any card. So I'm turning this over here, and I notice that the mate is right there. So I could spread these cards and show, hey, you could have stopped at any one of these cards. Now, they don't know what's going to happen. So even if you very cleanly show this, they're not going to remember the 2 of diamonds is there. So you could do this very openly. So you're going to cut the mate to the top, wherever it is. If it's in this packet over here that you turn over, then you show them, oh, see, look, you could have picked any one of these. You really could have. And then you pick up this one and show the rest of the deck. Turn this card over. And I'll proceed to show what happens after. But that's the situation if the card is in this first dealt stack. If the card is in this stack, we'll do it that way. So let's pretend that this is the card. This is the 2 of hearts. You've now peeked at this card. You've shown this and said, oh, you could have picked any one of these cards over here. See, you could have picked any one of these. You don't see the mate, so you grab the rest of the deck and you just look for the 2. So you go, oh, you could have really stopped here. In this case, I see the 2 here. I cut that to the top under the context of showing you could have stopped on that card. You could have stopped on that card. You could have stopped on any card you wanted. But then you do the only move here you need to do in the deck, which is a cop. You do a cop, either a pinky. You do this little meme here where you push in the top corner and you get a little pinky break. Of course, re-gripping for that cop. Or you could do the standard pinky pull down that people like to do here. So you just practice your pinkies there. So as this card's turning over, you could do the cop action and say, that's great that you set up the 2 of hearts, because see what happens. I put the deck down, take the card, reach into my ass pocket there, take out the supposed card that I put in my pocket from the start, and show that it just so happens to match the card that they freely stopped at. So that's a great trick because it's a borrow shuffle deck. They really have a free choice as to whatever card they could stop at, which it's apparent in the method. So that you practice that. It's not really a lot to really worry about. All you got to do is a cop at the end there, and it leads perfectly into a card to pocket, because now you have an extra card in your pocket. So you could do whatever method. The Carlisle card to pocket, that's a hot tip with this method. So that you practice, you show them at school that you should not be bullied. Do all the things. There's a new design, new Piggie McPigFace shirt design. You should check that out. It's hot. It's pink. Real men wear pink. There's a hoodie. You could pick either the hoodie or the t-shirt, but I highly suggest both because I mean, why not? Dollars. So definitely check those shirts out. I'll put the stuff in the stuff. So you stay in school, you take your vitamins, and you say your prayers, because when the pig mania is coming to you, brother, I'm gonna go and drop a leg on your neck, brother. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan.
See you again when I see you again. 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 When I see you again.